Alrighty guys, welcome to another episode of I've Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like, and I have an awesome guest here. I watched some of her videos on Facebook and TikTok and I loved it. I've got Gracie Hundley here with me over here at Backwoods Chiropractic.
Yes, sir.
Here in Claremore.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us a little bit about Backwoods over here. Where can people find you at over here?
So Backwoods is located in the market. So we're on the south side of Claremore, right off of 66. I am currently leasing space in between two recruiting centers. So it's easy to find me with two big American flags in the parking lot.
Look for the American flags.
But we will be celebrating 2 years anniversary in May of this year.
2 years.
Yeah, whoop.
That's a big deal. People don't realize. You get past that first year and you kind of feel a little bit relaxed. You kind of start to learn a little bit because, I don't know for you, like when I first started business, there was things I didn't even know anything about. And then you get through that first year and you're like, okay, I can start figuring this stuff out. Now I got this. All right. And then you go into that second year, you're like, we got this now.
I would say new challenges in the second year.
Which said growth.
Yes. All the growth, yes.
Yes. People, is it just you here or?
Yes, so I am owner and operator of Backwoods. I'm a one-woman show.
One-woman show.
So that has been a learning curve. I've always been a go-getter, if you will. So with that challenge of being under multiple hats, of scheduling, answering the phones, adjusting, doing chart notes, being a janitor, paying all the bills and all that. Yeah. That all falls on me. And for some, it can be challenging, including myself. Yeah. But I'm hoping to grow this year and have Backwoods grow as a family.
Heck yeah.
So hire somebody, yeah.
Bring somebody else on to help you out.
Yes,
and
yes.
Yeah, help start healing more people. That's the goal, right?
Of course.
That's the goal, right? So, Gracie, tell me a little bit about, how did you kind of get involved? What made you want to go into chiropractic? Was this something that was oh yeah, this is what I want to be when I grow up? Or is it something happened to you and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm supposed to do?
It's kind of funny you ask. I actually wanted to be a pharmacist.
A pharmacist?
Yes. So senior year of high school, I was having a chat with my dad, and he mentioned with where I was at with academics, I've always enjoyed school, always had a high GPA. That was something that was very important to me. And with where I was in my senior year, I was starting to look at college, and I always had an interest in science. And so my dad kind of threw out randomly, hey, why don't you be a pharmacist? And I was like, well, why not? So I started undergrad at Cowley County Community College in Ark City. Whoop, whoop. Go Tigers. And started my gen eds there. And as I was going through...
Now, is this in Oklahoma or...
Excuse me, this is in Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Yeah, I'm from
Kansas.
Wichita originally.
There we go. Okay, so from Wichita originally. So this is up in Kansas.
Yes. So Ark City's right on the border of Kansas and Oklahoma. Okay, do you know where Ponca City is?
Yes.
It's 30 minutes north.
Okay, so it's just literally right over that borderline over
Yes, there. Yes. So I started undergrad and was going through classes, started, to network myself with the community, if you will, campus life. Mm-hmm. And I actually came across my husband, Tyler. We started dating in 2014, and we both graduated May of 15, and then we moved to Wichita. Well, after moving to Wichita with our associates that we had both graduated with, I was looking at taking the PCAT, which is the entry test to become a pharmacist. I went and took that test 3 times and couldn't pass it. That was very heartbreaking for me.
Because you've always been...
Yes.
Great with
academics,
like
yes.
And everything, you were like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah, and it was kind of it was very challenging to process, but hindsight's 20/20. Wasn't supposed to be a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So I was kind of in a limbo for a while. Took another semester of school at Cowley online, and through that I started to get back into the gym, start really focusing on my health. And one day I was working on the butterfly machine, and one arm went faster than the other. And I felt like a twitch.
Pop,
yeah. So I was like, okay, something's up. Yeah. Well, I didn't think too much of it. Went home, took it easy, woke up the next day. Well, I woke up with numbness in my left arm. At that time, I was 21. First thing that pops into my head, heart attack symptoms. Yeah. Okay, let's call my MD.
Yeah.
called my MD. He happened to be out of town, and his nurse was on call, so I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, take an ibuprofen, you'll be fine."
Yeah, just relax. It's muscles.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so. So I reached out to a girlfriend who worked at a chiropractic office, and she said, "Yeah, come in, we'll do x-rays, and we'll see what's going on." So go to the office, get x-rays done, talk with the doc, which her name is Dr. Cates, and she owns Cates Chiropractic in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Cates. And she adjusted me once. Come to find out that my vertebra and like in between my shoulders had moved 3, I think it was millimeters or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm not good with numbers, by the way. That's not my strong suit. But she mentioned that I had a shift, adjusted it, immediately was relieved of pain.
Just like, oh.
And it was like an epiphany, like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do with my life. I think, yes, this is it. So I think within a month, I applied to chiropractic school, got accepted, finished out my semester at Cali, and then January of 17 moved up to, August of 16, I moved up to Kansas City to go to Cleveland Chiropractic College. I had some undergraduate studies that I needed to finish before I could start the program, and then started the program in January. So
when you said you're just a go-getter, like you really just like nothing's gonna stop me if I find out what I'm going for it.
Yes, and I
think
think
in a sense, or like full on, like yeah, that's what I do.
It's a little bit of that. I think a lot of it comes from I feel like I've always needed to prove myself to not only myself but to others, to kind of how do I phrase it? To feel like I fit in, if you will. I've always tried to prove myself.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely get that.
And hindsight, 2020, I'm thankful for that, but it's also, kind of shitty that I had that mindset for so long.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fit in or prove yourself to anyone.
I figured that out this year. It's one of those things. I got diagnosed with ADHD last year, and it was like just this huge epiphany. And I'm like, what happened to me? Like, why did all of a sudden, like, if I've had it all my life, why did all of a sudden it start now? And I'm just like, my brain broke. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just you've put on this mask. You've been a people pleaser. You've been this person that everybody wants to be. You're really good at looking at somebody and going, that's what they want me to be. And that's what you do. And she said, your body, your brain just got tired of it. Can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so I just said, hey, I'm done. And that's draining, like trying to be that person to be able to fit in and do those things, because with like my brain, it never really was like everybody else's. I never really thought like everybody else. I was kind of the oddball. I was always an oddball.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Black sheep against the grain. Oh yeah.
Always have been. I don't know, like it's in my blood. It's just one of those things. But I think it's that dopamine rush of that excitement of something happening, like, oh yeah, what's going to happen here? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to show you, look at that,
Definitely have a little bit of that. Oh yeah.
So you got through that, and what brought you guys, you said you're up in Kansas, what brought you guys to Oklahoma?
Good point. So, like I said, I met my husband in college, in our gen ed years, if you will. And we moved to Wichita for a year, and then I went to chiropractic school in Kansas City. I think it was like 2.5 years of me being in school. My now husband and I decided that, this is like a serious thing. So my husband sold his house in Ark City, He had bought a house in Ark City when I moved to Cali, because originally we were going to move to Ark City and start our life there. But we were tired of long distance, and so he moved to Kansas City. And then after I graduated, we decided to come back to his hometown versus my hometown, because he's from Verdigris, just down the road. So Claremore, essentially.
You got the Claremore address in there.
Yeah.
It's still Claremore.
Oh, yeah. And he's always been a small town guy. Yeah. He likes the community feel, and I agree with that. I grew up in a larger town, Wichita. I couldn't even tell you, again, the numbers on that, but it's a pretty big town. I've been to Wichita
a few times, and I've had my ups and downs there. It's a weird place. You go to one, like you go like 3 blocks over, and they're like you're in the wrong part of town. You're like, I was just over here.
Oddly enough, place. Kansas City's like that too.
Is it? Yeah, Wichita, like they're like, you can't drive over here, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm trying to get to this music video. What do you mean? Yeah.
World's worst drivers. I will definitely agree to that.
But so you guys were kind of, you wanted that hometown feel. You wanted that.
Yeah, we
So-
wanted to start our family in a place, one, around one of our families, and two, we wanted kind of more of a close-knit upbringing. So we decided to come back to Claremore. My husband is also still very close with a lot of his childhood and high school friends
Yeah.
that we still hang out with almost
All the
on, a monthly basis, if anything.
Yeah.
And that sense of community and family is what we were both looking for.
Yeah.
And so that really brought us
You're
here.
like, here we are. I mean, Claremore is really good at that. I think making you feel like it's just this. We are growing, but it makes you feel like it's that small town feel. There's things that could improve and we could grow a little bit, but I feel like it's just a really good laid back community. Like, I've moved away, I came back. Like, it's like I'm like, oh, I got to get out of this town, blah blah blah. And when I left, I missed it. I missed the people. I missed that. Like, I was up north, and people just don't have that same, like, holding the door open for you thing. Like,
Yeah.
nobody, like, you hold the door open for somebody and they look at you like you're crazy. Like, they're like, yeah, what is this? And that's just a normal thing. You don't think twice. You just do it.
Yeah.
And somebody does it for you.
It's kind of part of the culture, if you
Yeah,
will.
it's part of who we are here. And I watch this community rally around people, and when there's sickness in a family or things like that, this community like jumps on it. It's like, I don't know how many fundraisers a year, we have around here, and every one of them are just full tilt.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be there and help people and be in that part of that community. So yeah, it's a great place to kind of come and grow and do that kind of thing. So you've been here for 2 years, almost, here in May.
Yeah, here at
And
Backwoods.
so, you've been here at Backwoods in almost 2 years now in May. What are you kind of hoping to accomplish over this next year as you're going through?
Well, we kind of touch base on it. I'm looking to grow the Backwoods family, if you
Yeah.
will, hire staff. I'm looking to be more involved in my community. So here in the market, in this strip mall specifically, we have a PT, and we just had a nurse practitioner move in, I think last month, on the corner.
Oh, nice.
So another goal of mine is to create more of a community, let's work as a team type approach, whole person health.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one area of specifically my profession, chiropractic. I feel like we're working towards, let me phrase it that way. We're working towards explaining what we do and how it's beneficial and how we can work together as a team.
Yeah.
Some might disagree with me on that, but that's how I like to approach care when it comes to people.
I think, like you said, I had a different misconception of like chiropractors and things like that, like growing
Sure.
up as a kid. Like, I
Of
didn't
course.
need one, of course. But as I got older and I talked to friends and family, and I sneezed one time and tore a muscle right here. Thought I had a heart attack, like you said. My left arm was hurting. I thought I was dying. I sneezed. And I went to a chiropractor, and like, it was relief. Like, I'd gone to the doctor, they were doing CTs, giving me pain medicine, doing this, and I go in and see the doctor, and they put me in this little machine, and it like pulls my head up, and he's like, yeah, it's not your shoulder, it's your neck, it's this part here, and he's like, yeah, it's not even this, and he did some cupping on it, and I was like, I had to wear a brace before I went in there, and when I left, I didn't have to have that brace. It was like, it was so crazy, and I was like, all right. And then as I got older and I talked to some other friends who were chiropractors and things like that, they're like, oh man, you have rheumatoid arthritis. We could do this with this. Have you tried this? And there's so much more, it comes into going to the chiropractor, what actually is happening, getting yourself in line. People don't realize, your spine, it's running everything up and down to the brain, and so
Yes, sir.
if that's out of line, that's going to mess you up.
Yeah.
And just like you said, 3 millimeters. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when
When it
it's
comes
not
to-
supposed to
yeah.
be moving 3 millimeters, that's a lot. And so you're going to start feeling that, and that's going to affect other muscles and people. So there's a lot that you can do that. My sister, she would always she told me when the kids were babies, she's like, oh yeah, they've got this, blah, blah, blah. They're colicky, this and that. And she would take them out of the chiropractor, get them all lined up, and it was night and day. Got their stomach, they were constipated, all that stuff, got them going and everything.
For sure.
See, people, and that's another thing. you kind of want that whole, you do everybody here. The whole family can come in and get.
Yes,
Get
I am a
looked at,
family
right?
wellness chiropractor.
Yeah,
Yes,
family
sir.
is
nervous
everybody.
system focused.
Nervous system focused.
Yes.
That, what we're talking about, right up and down your spine. I'll tell you, I've got my sciatic nerve that goes right down to my knee, that crazy thing. I thought I was younger than I was and tried to do something that I can't do anymore.
Hey, we've all been there. We've all been there.
That pop that you said that you heard, it was a pop, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go down on the ground now. Yeah. And so I've been there, and that's that pain and that radiation that not only does it affect with the pain, but it also, your moods, your anxiety, things like that, making you sick, and you don't realize it, and you get touched up and get straightened up, and you're feeling a whole lot different.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I will politely say that yes, the chiropractors, myself, we do adjust the physical component, but as a nervous system focused doc, I also work with the mental and emotional. So I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but when it comes to the nervous system and where it's housed within our spine, it definitely can affect that mental emotional component. Have you heard the words like parasympathetic and sympathetic before? So parasympathetic is that rest and digest, and that is within the nervous system, is housed in our neck and the base of our skull, and then also our sacrum, which is in between our hip bones. And then that sympathetic fight or flight is housed in between our shoulder blades and that thoracic spine. So it makes a lot of sense with where you're having issues. It could be correlated to possible mental emotional.
It's funny that
aspects.
you just said that. You said that. I actually saw a video the other day of a chiropractor talking about that fight or flight. He's testing it on the kids and showing them like pushing the head back and if their hands went up.
Yep,
or
primitive
they're supposed
reflexes.
to,
Yes,
things
sir.
like that, and talking about how if it's supposed to go away over time, like when they're a baby, but sometimes it doesn't. And it can, be cause of anxiety and things like that. It's, to me, I never even thought, like my kid falls back weird. He doesn't try to catch himself. Does something you don't think about, until you think of it and go, huh, and I'm like, hey, Emerson, come here. I need to say something, And I'm like, hey, come here. And I'm like, don't move. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, that you don't, you don't put he just went like this, like, oh.
And it's interesting, some adults don't really grow out of that, or they have restricted progress with those reflexes. So depending on, case basis.
Yeah, it's just how they grow, what they do for work and things like that, can do that.
Of course.
Awesome. Well, since you guys, you've been here for a little while, you moved to Claremore, things like that, like what is your guys' favorite thing about Rogers County? Like what's your guys' favorite thing that draws you here?
Like as in my favorite thing, or
Yeah, like
my
your
husband and I's favorite thing?
Your favorite thing.
My favorite thing about Rogers County, I know we kind of already touched on this, is the people.
The people.
I think one thing that really helped me through school, through the general studies and the harder classes and everything, is getting to see people through a different lens, if you will.
Yeah.
Granted, we're sitting here talking about having a podcast and, chit-chatting, but it's a completely different conversation if you were coming to get adjusted. Things I learn about people, their traumas, different things that they've experienced in childhood, relationships, abuse. I work with a lot of pregnant mamas and babies. Trauma being birth. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's a trauma in a sense. And it's just interesting to see that side of people and how vulnerable they are.
Yeah.
And it's something that I hold very sacred, because I feel like a lot of people have a hard time opening up about those things and kind of bringing that mental emotional aspect of processing it through venting and through figuring out, oh, this is why this isn't moving, or this could be correlated to this.
Yeah.
Really opens people's eyes, and it's really cool to see that light bulb kind of come on.
That's kind of nice, because in a small town, it is kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard to talk about and be upfront about emotional things, and I think nowadays people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable. I still don't think we're completely there talking about mental health. Mental health is a huge deal.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy, and so I've gone through it. I see a therapist. was another thing. I was like, oh, yeah,
And that's something to be proud of, though, that you are taking a step.
Very scary to do.
Sure.
To talk to somebody about things that you've basically blocked out for a reason, you know, and you're like, oh my gosh. Some of those you're just like, oh, that was a tough session, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that was stuff I didn't think about, you know.
You kind of relive it too,
Yeah,
right?
you do. And so that having that aspect of, I think, is a little bit different than some of the other chiropractors that I've talked to, honestly,
Sure.
about that mental health and getting to know those people and trying to help them feel comfortable with doing that, because that's a big step, like you said, to get in that point and you get to get the connection with people and do those things. And I think in a small community, we do really need that kind of something like that flow, the outflow, to be able to go to a place and have that where we can feel comfortable, not only getting lined up, but also, you know, talking to somebody and kind of getting that, because a lot of times just getting it out, just saying it, makes it feel so much better. You go, oh, it's like it's trapped inside of you and it's just this pressure and you just get it out and people don't realize it. You just say it and you go, wow, I never said that before.
Yeah, a lot of the practice members that come in and share those stories with me, a phrase that I use is, yeah, leave that shit here.
Leave it here.
Let me hold it.
Yeah, I got to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you come for. Yeah.
It's
not,
a aspect of what they come for.
It's one of the aspects.
Fair.
For, yes. There's so much, I mean, like I said, you're doing so much more than what I've heard and other chiropractors, you know, talk about that kind of stuff. It usually is only about straightening you up and doing those things and how I could do this and how I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, that's something that people might not think about, and maybe, hey, maybe I should go see her and do that, because it doesn't hurt to come see a chiropractor regardless. You don't have to get injured. You don't have to get, you know, you don't have to slip on the ice. I almost fell this last week when we had that ice, just walking
Yeah, that
on
was
the
miserable.
gravel. Yeah,
That was
crazy.
miserable.
You don't have to have one of those injuries to have to come see a
Yeah.
chiropractor. You could sleep wrong. You know, it's just one of those things. Pick up your kid. It doesn't have to be some crazy event that makes something slip. And as we get older, it just doesn't work right sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
I've got rheumatoid arthritis, so a lot of my joints are swollen half the time, and you know, just eaten up already. And I'm only 35, so it's just one. But getting those things taken care of can kind of prolong the bad stuff coming.
I'll say two things came to mind with you mentioning those things. When it comes to chiropractic, us chiropractors, I'll phrase us, I feel like there's kind of a division in our profession with like more of an allopathic mindset versus holistic mindset. But I would never talk bad or, you know, want to disrespect anyone else who's in the profession, because that's only disrespectful to the profession and them, but also myself, right?
Yeah, people do different things. There's people that do just...
But we all have the end goal being the same, of wanting to
wanna
help
make
people.
something.
So with that being said, we're all different, and we all have different techniques, different experiences through school, outside seminars and all that. But we all have the same goal. I'm trying to think of the second thing that I'm really good about forgetting things.
Oh yeah, me too.
It'll come.
Yeah,
It'll come.
I'll be I have to like replay that conversation back in my head a little bit and go, okay, caught up to it. All right, there it is. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I do that a lot, because I think of something while somebody's talking, and then I'm like, try to hold it.
And also stay engaged, right?
Listen, trying to make eye contact. I'm listening, and then you go, oh, yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It'll come. It'll come.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to do a little segment here. This is a little fun thing, and in Claremore tradition, we have trains. Right,
Yeah.
We get stopped by trains. You go on the Facebook, what do you hear? It's always the trains. So we're going to call this the train track crossing. We're going to ask you, speed round here.
Oh boy.
Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. We're going to get this up here. We're going to spit off a bunch of questions. They're not hard ones. They're silly. Just, you know, comfortable, relaxing. Don't worry. So let's see here. Where is that? You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go off of that. All right, let's get here. Well, where did it go? All right, yeah, it was what. This is what the show is. You just kind of do whatever. That's what like me and Steve said on last episode. We're just having fun. It is what it is.
Of course, yeah.
People want to listen, they can listen. If they don't want to,
it's on them.
Have to. We're having fun, so that's all that matters, right?
Of course.
Right? All right. Here we go. Okay. We're going to start now. What is your favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Ooh. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
That's a hard one. I'd say fly.
Fly?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Coffee or tea?
Ooh. Hot or cold? Either.
Either.
I'd probably go with tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
Hot or cold?
Preferably hot.
Hot, preferably hot. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of like English style? What do you think? English tea?
Just hot tea. Yeah, just hot tea.
Just all of it. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs, that's what I'm talking about. Beach or mountains?
Mountains. All the way.
All the way. Books or movies?
Oh, movies.
Yeah. Books.
Books are cool. Hey, books are cool.
Hey, there's a place for them. Words not my thing. I don't like it.
Hey, no shame. No shame.
Pizza or burgers?
Burgers.
Burgers. Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Ooh. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Savory. Fiction or non-fiction? Almost went bad.
Nonfiction.
Non-fiction. Non-fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I could. All right. I was thinking maybe you'd be a fiction person, but I was.
Say throwing some curveballs.
There you are. Favorite childhood cartoon?
Hey, Arthur.
Hey Arthur. Yeah. Hey Arthur. All right. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Yes, all the way. What's your favorite superhero?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. She's a good one.
She's pretty badass.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl. I used to be a night owl, and then I got old, and now I'm the morning times.
You're not old. You are not
I
old.
feel like it. All right. Ready? Favorite vacation destination?
Anywhere where I can snowboard.
Oh, snowboarding. We're going to get to that a little bit.
Okay, for sure.
And then last one, the most important question.
What's up?
Most important question. Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
I think so.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Good answer. Mm-hmm. Me too. All right, guys, that's a trade stop. The trade's passed. The arms are going up, and we can finally move. All right, we're moving back on. Okie dokie. So, you guys here at Claremore, you guys are just kind of becoming part of it. Do you think there's like anything you would like to see our leaders or the community like to do to move forward? Is there something that you would like to see them improve on, or you think there's something we could do a little differently?
Well, the trains was maybe one thing.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, we do have a lot of community events, and I think that's something that was really attractive for me when we were looking to open up. But a lot of community involvement, I think, is a good thing to have, but I think we need to kind of address more of our youth and encourage our youth. So one thing that I told myself when I opened up, and I was able to, is to support young athletes. And not only athletes, but young entrepreneurs, young pageant goers. I'm not a loss for words of what to call them, but I have a couple kiddos that are in pageants.
My daughters are going to be in a pageant in like a couple weeks.
Is it the one?
We won a vertebrae over
Yeah. I have a girlfriend. Her daughter is in the newborn phase.
Oh, yeah. I have a 3. Ours is 4 and 6. So I don't know what my wife's. I've seen the little foo-foo dresses and everything, and they're like, "Which one?" And I'm like, "That
I
one?"
cannot wait to see pictures. Cannot wait.
I can't. It's gonna. They've been practicing.
Hey.
In the living room, they walk and do their waves, and of course, like my youngest, she is all girl
And what's her name?
Bowie.
Bowie. How do you spell it?
Bowie. She is named after David Bowie.
I love that.
But yeah, got off track there. But anyways,
you're good.
So anyways, you wanted to put into the youth. Basically.
Yeah, more community involvement with our youth, and just supporting them. I know that there's a lot of fundraisers that you had mentioned, which money's great, but actually showing up for them.
Putting time into it.
Yeah. So
That's
one thing that I like to do is of course having parental consent is to actually attend the events. So here recently, this past fall, I started to sponsor a sprint car driver, She is 15,
Ooh.
and I think it is so
That's
badass
cool.
that she does sprint car driving.
Oh, yeah.
And she loves it. Like, it is 100% a passion. Her dad also drove, and I think that's kind of where she got her inkling to kind of get into it. But it's really cool because I was able to actually go watch her compete. And although she probably would say that it wasn't her best race, I was so proud to see her doing what she loves.
Yeah.
Other things that I've attended, soccer games, basketball games. I missed the pageant a couple weeks ago that I had a practice member attend, or she was in it, excuse me. But yeah, I think more community involvement through actually showing up would be a better or good option for us.
I think you say that we don't have that youth involvement like we do. We do have it at the churches, things here and there, but sometimes that's not always a place that people want to go or things like that. And we just don't have that youth kind of involvement anymore like we used to. We used to have music venues and things like that where the kids used to come and hang out and get, see each other and talk and things. It wasn't just Facebook and talking to each other online.
Or sitting on a tablet.
Yeah, FaceTiming each other, stuff like that, And we don't have that anymore. We really don't. We do need a lot more of that. That's something, I haven't thought. I mean, as I've gotten older, I kind of forget about those things. I've got kids myself, but they're young, and
Fair.
They're still got
Lovingly, if we think about it, they are the next generation.
Exactly.
They're the next council people. They're the next presidents. They're the next congressmen or women.
Yeah.
The next chiropractors. The next podcast.
Is this thing on? Hey. Sorry, guys. So I messed up. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but I lost half the video. So please just continue watching, listening. It's an amazing episode. There's so much more left. So please listen. If you want to go to Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, any of those, YouTube Music, it's on all those. All those links will be down in the comment. You can click on that, go listen to the rest of it, or just listen to it here. I'm going to finish it out. I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm still learning. I make mistakes. But it was still a great episode. We still have the audio, so go listen to the rest of it. Please, just listen.
Hosts, like they're
our future.
Yes, 100%.
What we put into them is what we're going to get out of it later. In honest, what it comes down to, really.
Which I'm really glad you brought that up. I don't know if I could kind of side note that. So one of my big passions with being a family wellness chiropractor is pregnant mamas and babies. I know I brought that up. But babies entering the world, through that, I phrased a traumatic event, that can hinder them from different things in life. Their movements, their inabilities to express emotions. What else? Just they are our next generation.
Yeah.
So one reason I focus so specifically on educating mamas as well as dads and full families as when they bring baby into the world is to explain to them like they are the next generation.
Yeah.
One thing that I do at my office is if a mom is pregnant while she's under care, she comes to care while she's pregnant. Once she has babe is earthside, their first adjustment is on the house. Now that is a way that I told myself that I wanted to give back to the community and giving them their first adjustment, whether it's, as a newborn or at 6 months, whatever that family decides, because it's totally up to them. That is a kickstart for them to be able to function at their optimal potential.
Giving them that head start.
Yes.
Basically giving them what they need to kind of get that going. That's awesome. Yep. I love that. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. I've noticed this year, like with my kids, they're getting to those age where they want that attention, they want that, they're, hey, come play or do this and that. And this last year I struggled, like it was a hard one for me. And that's part of why I wanted to do the podcast. I wanted to get out there and just like get back out of my shell. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I just want to go have fun. And it's opened up my mind a lot. My middle child, Prudence, she's autistic.
Remind me of her name?
Prudence.
Prudence. I love that.
She's named after dear Prudence.
Hey.
And then I've got Emerson, who is our oldest. He's named after Ralph Waldo Emerson. So,
Okay.
And so, so they, and we're pretty sure my son's ADHD. He's got those. He's pretty much the same size as mine. So me figuring out that I had a ADHD brain, a neurotypical brain, that I can kind of understand them a little bit better now that I'm starting to focus on myself a little bit and understand how my brain works and how things are, instead of going straight to yelling, which ADHD people do. They get frustrated about little things and stuff like that sometimes. And but instead of just breaking out and just I go, oh, I feel that way too. Instead of like, get up, let's go, we gotta go to school. I've had those mornings where I go, I literally cannot do anything today. My brain is overloaded, stimulated. I have nothing left. My therapist, we call them beans. She's like, everybody calls them spans and this. I don't know why. She's like, I like to call them beans. I'm like, I like that. I got a little bag of beans. That's what I carry around. And so that's, certain things take a certain amount of beans. Some days it's more beans than it was yesterday. Brushing your teeth may take half a bean, but tomorrow it takes 6. And, learning those things, I'm like, how to focus. Okay, I don't need to do this right now. I don't need to, this can hold off.
Yeah.
Because I have more important things that I need to put my beans towards. My family. Don't worry about work whenever it's over. It's over. Things like that. And so I've started to have to kind of put that into them and trying to want to, to learn with them. Me and my son are actually going to start a podcast together where he's going to teach me about the things that he loves.
I love that.
It's going to be called Dad Decoding, and we are starting that. He's coming up with his ideas and things like that, which I think is great because I want him to kind of get involved in this. I want my kids to enjoy this and learn about this, and they're already got a little app on their iPads, the photo app, and they can edit videos and things like that, and they are loving it. They're like, look, Dad, and I love it because they're like, hey, you do this too, and look what we did. And so it's fun, and getting to be able to do this with them and be able to do this with my son, I think it's going to be, putting that in there, learning what he likes.
Yeah.
And who knows, I may end up liking to play Minecraft. I don't know.
I've heard it's pretty cool. Not my jam, but
I don't know. I'm not a big gamer guy. I guess it's never been my thing, but he insists that I'm going to love it. And so, that's one thing he wants to teach me about is Minecraft, because I absolutely know nothing. I know a creeper, and I think the guy's name's Steve, but that's about it.
It's more than I know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, putting that into those kids and putting that youth, I think that's a great thing because it's something that needs to be addressed more. So even in schools, we have overloaded classrooms. We're struggling to keep teachers, and we're not getting that. Their teachers aren't getting that support, so they're getting overstimulated, overstressed, overworked, and we're not getting that youth involvement like we used to. The teachers try as hard as they can do everything they can do. I've got family members that are teachers, and they work their butts off. But sometimes, here lately, it's just harder and harder. So it takes away from the youth. Yeah. So I think more now than anything, that's something that we probably need more than anything, is that getting onto the next step, maybe start doing events to help them, more events to help them learn new careers and things like that to do. Because there are a few around here, but it's maybe once a year, things like that.
Sure.
Only so many kids can do that at that point, That would be a fun thing to do. Maybe we can figure something out. We can work together and figure something out for that.
Yeah.
Do a little thing.
I do have something to add to that.
Yeah.
Kind of a shameless plug.
Nope.
So getting adjusted and relieving that tension or interference that you might have in your nervous system can only help you regulate that busybodiness. Specifically, one of my favorite adjustments to give is an atlas adjustment. So atlas is the top bone in our spine. It holds our head up, if you will. He has 2 main jobs. That first job is to contribute to rotation, so turning your head back and forth. Depending on the person, and it's 80 to 85% of rotation comes from that point. And then it's a big circle shape, and inside of that circle is our brainstem. Our brainstem
being held right in there.
Yeah, it's being held right in there, but it also is the operator of our entire body. It literally tells us how to eat, how to think, how to process emotions. I could literally nerd out on you, but I will save us the time. But it literally is the operator of our system. And so relieving that tension, that the ligaments that are holding that bone in place, so it's not putting so much pressure on that brainstem, can relieve symptoms of ADHD. It can help with sleep, like being able to turn your brain off at night, or having consistent sleep.
Yeah.
I have a gentleman who he went from being able to sleep not able to sleep more than 2 hours at a time, and he now sleeps almost 10 hours a night.
See,
And that's with 3 adjustments to the Atlas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make appointments because we're gonna have to get the kids.
Well, and it's not necessarily that. I love that energy,
yeah.
but it's definitely, that's not my intention of like, hey, you should sign up
Well,
for
no,
it.
no,
But
I like you say these things, and me and myself, I just I go down rabbit holes, and I've started taking fire cider. I don't know if you know what that is. Is
it a medication?
It's apple cider vinegar it's in with onions, things like that. It's a holistic thing. And
Let's go. Yeah.
I had come across on TikTok, and I was like, I don't know, and then I kept on seeing it. I kept on seeing people were like, I had acid reflux and this and that, and I'm like, I take so many pills. Like, if I could take one out, like, that'd be great. And plus, my son suffers from acid reflux, and he's only 9 years old. And every now and the doctor said, give him a pill. So every once in a while, he has to take a pill. He literally just comes right up.
So, lovingly, when you say doctors, are you talking about an MD?
MD doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, MD. And they put him on, they said, give him some acid medicine if he needs it, that kind of thing. And so I thought, I got it, and I was like, hey, let's try it. Let's see. First, like, I opened it up, smelled it. It's like garlic and onions and fermented, and and so you open it up, you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, and you take it and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, it burns, like, it's just like that.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's apple cider vinegar alone would make it burn, but yeah, and so, but after a while, I started getting used to it. But I haven't had to take any acid medicine since I started it.
Interesting.
I haven't. My son has it, and he goes, the other day, he's like, well, I feel like I'm getting used to the taste, because we do it together every morning. We take our little tablespoon and we whoop, whoop, and he's like, I feel like I'm getting used to the taste. I feel like, and he's like, but it's worth it. It's worth it because I don't have acid. Like, literally, he would just have it come up.
That's huge.
Yeah. So there's, things like that, like you're saying, there's that holistic side of it. I've really started to get into that. So that when you say stuff like that, that makes, I've been reading about things like that. And and so that's all. When I say, like, oh yeah, I need to make an appointment, I'm not just saying that to be like on the air, like, hey, guys, can make an appointment.
For sure. I just wanted to verbalize that.
I want everybody to, like, that's something that we're interested, because I've got, kids with autism and ADHD, and I have ADHD myself. I take a pill to literally wake myself up in the morning and go, a stimulant pill, and then I take a pill at night to put myself to sleep. If I don't sleep maybe 2 hours a night, because my brain doesn't shut off, it wakes up. And then I'm foggy, crazy, upset, emotional throughout the day because I rarely got any sleep.
Yeah.
And so and then it comes a cycle, and I can't get out of it. And so now, like, literally, I take a pill to wake up and a pill to sleep.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Some people phrase it as conspiracy theories, but I feel like there is a alternate. How do I want to phrase this? An alternate thought process when it comes to prescription medications.
Yes.
I'll phrase it that way.
I'll say this, like, I have my ups and downs. Like, I have my quarrels with medication, things like that.
And I want to be respectful as well.
No, yeah. And sometimes it works for people, sometimes it doesn't. Like, certain medication will work for somebody that doesn't work for another.
Yeah. Time and place, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. And they put me on Vyvanse, and they're like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you can't take that, you're going to have crazy side effects. And I'm like, the first time I took it, though, I went, what is that sound? There's nothing. It chilled. I was like, holy crap, like, I can focus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. And so to me, I'm like, okay, well, I've never felt like that before. But if there's a way to do that without that medication, like, I'm 100% game, like, let's do it. Like, I don't want to have to take a pill. Like, My thing is,
Well-
what if there's something happens and I can't I can't get a hold of pills because there's shortages and things like that.
There's that, but I feel like the prescription medications, it's the convenience.
Yes, it is.
Now, I say this lovingly in the sense of, you're talking about that kind of noise that you're hearing, being able to, just take that medication and it's instantly gone. But is it truly gone?
No.
Because it'll come back once that
It's just
fades
fixing
off.
the symptom.
It's Band-Aid.
Yeah. It's just putting it on there. It's just getting me through.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I see what you're
but
saying. Yeah,
I
for sure.
I don't want to be disrespectful
Oh, not at
because
all.
there's definitely a time and a place. But one thing that I focused on in chiropractic school
Yeah.
is the more holistic side, and through the philosophy of chiropractic. So a little backstory, a little history, if I can plug that in here.
Got it.
Got a shout out to the creators, if you will, of chiropractic, or those who came across it, D.D. Palmer and B.J. Palmer, who is his son. D.D. Palmer, in September 18th of 1895, adjusted a man named Harvey Lillard. He was having some issues with hearing, and within one adjustment, he was able to restore a percentage of his hearing. There's a lot of different people who will say different things about that, but we'll phrase it that way.
Yeah.
And then his son, BJ, was actually the one who developed chiropractic, who made it contributed to what it is today, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull that all back into
you're good.
the
No.
philosophy.
Yeah.
So with the philosophy that they kind of talked about, there's green books in chiropractic, and it's kind of like the why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And one aspect that they talk about is ADIO, and it's above, down, inside, out. And it's essentially correlating that we heal from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So in correlation to chiropractic versus the more allopathic medication, if when we take a pill, it's an outside in. When we adjust, it's from inside out. And I'm not a religious or spiritual person. I try and be neutral, not only for my practice members, the practice members, but also with my friends as well, because I would never want to offend or disrespect anybody. But some of our chiropractors out there correlate that to religion.
Yeah.
Of, above, down, inside, out.
Yeah. Some
So-
sort of religion, not just Christianity, but across the board.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. And I think, and I don't see an issue with that to myself, but I think what you're saying is, where I'm going with that is that the idea of getting, here we go, I'll get there.
You're good.
My
Hey.
brain's working.
We are good, my friend.
So the idea of the place that you're going with that is that getting that taken care of from the inside out, coming out. See, I had to catch up on the conversation. I forgot where I was at, and then I caught
You're
back
good,
up.
my friend.
And the stomach, so the stomach stuff. Like I
Yeah.
will tell you this, I have been way less foggy since I started that stuff because of the stomach acid. I don't have my teeth don't hurt when I wake up in the morning. Like things like that. It's crazy things and I feel less foggy and I feel more awake. And it almost gives me more energy. So yeah, healing it from the inside makes total sense.
And it's interesting how, again, I'll be open with this, we have plants and animals and certain nutrients and vitamins and minerals that are within the earth.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how, like you just said, you have your concoction. I can't remember the name of it. Your concoction that you take, and that's been helping you more with the acid reflux stuff than the prescription medication, which medications are man-made.
Yeah, and prescription medicine actually has been shown to cause fogginess and things like that in your brain, so it bog you down.
Which, back to, there's a time and a place.
Yep. It helps at a certain point. Sometimes, I do have to pop, growing up, I've always had to pop an extra Tums or something like that. I've always had acid reflux. Like, it's just been always, like, since I can remember, I've had to take a pill.
Okay.
And so whenever I got this, I was just like, wow, crazy things. So we got to know a little bit about you and the practice, things like that. Let's get to know about you, like, outside of here.
Okay.
Like, what's
up?
some of your favorite hobbies outside of...
Well,
Yeah,
my
how
husband
about
and I live out in Clamor Sequoia. We live on a little shy of 10 acres. One of my favorite things to do is just be in nature. So living out there, we have, again, the 10 acres. It's backwoods, kind of, I guess I could go into that. I got the name of Backwoods from where we live because we live in the backwoods, and it was kind of punny, like backwoods. woods, like, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, being outside and spending time with my 3 dogs. I have 3 around 100 pounds-ish labs. Winchester, he is 11. He's my chocolate lab. Luna, she is 8. She is my black lab. And then I have Chief, named after the Chiefs. Go Chiefs. He'll be 3 next week.
3 next week. So
Yes.
you've got a couple older ones and the younger one. To kind
Yes.
of keep going
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They all keep us on our toes in their own ways.
Yeah. So you like to just go out and hang out there and just hunt, fish.
Yeah, sorry.
things
So,
like that?
yeah, anything
So-
outdoors. We spend a lot of time at
Yeah.
Lake Hudson. We have a little lake house out there with some friends, so we love to fish. I'm not a noodler, but I love to like watch them
Oh, yeah,
noodle.
that's like my-
They do trout lines or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sure I probably butchered that. But yeah, I love to hunt, fish. I'm big in waterfowl. I didn't actually get to go this year, which is what it is. But next year will definitely be a different story.
Like, I'm going.
But yeah, I absolutely love to hunt waterfowl, goose, duck. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I've never been like duck hunting or anything like that myself. I've went like hunting for deer and I just like fall asleep out there and I'm just like
It's a little too
I was
slow
like,
for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not my thing. Like I'd rather just go fishing. I can
Yeah.
keep moving and
Hey, it's about to be
throwing it.
crappie fishing time.
It's crappie fishing time. I'm a trout fish. I love trout
Oh,
fishing.
okay.
We don't have a whole lot around here. We usually go up to Missouri. We'll go up to Roaring River.
Red River?
Roaring River.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Missouri.
I've been there.
Yeah, we go up there and go fishing. I mean, you're gonna catch them. They're small, but they're fun. It's just you just throw it out there and catch them. It's just a good time. And my family had a cabin up in Idaho, right outside of Yellowstone, and it was on a trout fishing lake. So
Wow.
we've done a lot of trout fishing. So that's like when March comes around, opening day of March is March 1st is when it opens at Roaring River, and we're like, all right, it's trout
It's
fishing
time.
time. Let's go.
It is time.
I didn't go a whole lot last year. I
Yeah.
just didn't get out there and do it. But it was one of those things I was just kind of not doing things, and I was like, I'm doing things this year. Like, this year is going to be the year. We're going to make it happen. So, you like to be outdoors. You like to do all that kind of stuff. You said you like to go snowboarding. Like, where do you like to go snowboarding at? Like, where's your favorite places? Like, I've always wanted to do that, and I've never done it.
Oh,
But I'd probably kill myself, but I still want to do it.
I'll be honest, the first day sucks. It freaking sucks.
See, I don't know if my
You're
knees
literally
can handle
falling down a mountain trying to figure out how to stay on a board, right? Like, it sucks. But once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like riding a bike.
Is it
forget
close to like skateboarding or anything like that, or is it just like is there similar?
I would say wakeboarding is
More close to it.
closer
like,
to it. Now,
See,
I'm not a big wakeboarder.
I wasn't good at wakeboarding, so
I think I've tried it twice.
yeah.
But my husband actually has been going snowboarding since he was a kid.
Oh yeah.
One thing that we plan to kind of put into our family values is his family would go on trips.
Mm-hmm.
So he has all of those experiences and memories
Yeah.
and things. But he was the one who kind of got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
Our first year that we went out, we went to Keystone up in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and we rented out a big house with, I don't know, probably 10 to 15 of our
Yeah.
friends. And some of us were learning together, but others had, learned when they were a kid.
Yeah, they were-
And so, like I said, that first day sucked, but the second day we were all, able to get on our boards and stay up. And I think we've gone 6 or 7 years now, and we all can get up and get going.
Yeah,
So-
let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. See, I just don't think my knees would handle that anymore. My knees are. Is it hard on the knees? Because I hear it is.
Well,
Is it more like?
it can be, yeah. But if you think about it,
It's not.
like skiing
Yeah.
would kind of be similar,
Would be
but you're
similar.
moving differently.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it does not bother my knees.
I've always
But I
wanted
could
to.
see how it could.
I'm 6'5". My knees are always like hurting. And I was a lot bigger than I used to be, so I had a lot of weight carrying on my knees. They
Well,
don't work
that's
very
something to
well.
be proud of, though,
I lost a lot of weight last year, but kind of sickness and things like that. But hey, it's off. I'm keeping it off.
Congratulations.
And so, but so snowboarding, things like that. Oh goodness gracious! Say everybody watching this, listen. I'm not cutting this stuff out. I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it in there because I
That's
want
fine.
people to see real. Like this is just. I'm not.
I love that.
I'm not anybody like. Better, like I don't know. I'm not. I have my struggles. I can barely talk half the time. It barely comes out of my mouth, and that's fine. And I want people to go, yeah. If he can do that, I could do that too. Let's go do it. It's
Hell
have
yes,
fun
I'm here
doing
for
it.
this.
Just go jump on it and just do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So if I stumble, let's get over it. that's what I'm saying. You know?
Oh yeah.
So we talked about some misconceptions, like kind of that people do have towards chiropractic and things like that. And there's always that mindset. We got to learn a lot about the other side of it, the other part of that, the neurological part of it, things
Yeah.
that you do here that, so somebody listening that goes, hey, yeah, I could really benefit from that. I need to come over there. You need to come over here. What's the best way to get a hold of you guys? Like, how is the best way to set up an appointment with you guys?
Okay.
What's the best way for somebody that's like, yep, I need to come. I need to call Gracie.
Well, I will say, being in a small town, I've learned that Facebook and Instagram are the best ways to
All the
go
time.
about spreading information and kind of getting yourself out there as a business. So my tag, if you will, is Backwoods Chiro OK. It looks really funky spelled out, but you can't,
you're not gonna miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Facebook, Instagram, we do have a website, backwoodschiro.ok.com. It has all the information about me, where I came from, all that kind of stuff, what I do in the office, and I actually have like a scheduling link on there, so you're
Awesome.
able to like go visit the website, click on book now, it comes up with my schedule, and kind of go from there.
Just click it and go and
Yeah.
start rolling, huh?
Yeah,
Easy
try and make
peasy.
it as convenient as possible
Yeah,
for everyone.
especially nowadays. People don't like to make phone calls, things like that anymore.
And I also accept phone
All right,
calls.
there's a phone in here. I meant
Yes.
There's even a fax machine in here.
There is,
It's
yes.
snipped up, so I mean, like it doesn't look like the old school fax machine. It's a printer fax machine mix, but yeah, she even has a fax machine in here. So, which I mean, you kind of need those things. with
Yeah,
medical,
especially
so,
whole person health, right?
whole
Gotta
person
communicate.
health. You got to talk to all the others around. Awesome. So, guys, look her up on Facebook. We'll have links down below. You guys can go to the Facebook. We'll have the website down there. You can just click on it. It'll take you there. You want to get set up. If you just want to come in here, come say, hey, Gracie, let's set up an appointment. Let's
Yeah,
go. She
yeah.
wants, like, let's.
Everyone-
You're ready to help everyone. You're like, let's get this community.
This is a safe place, and I want people to feel welcome. I mean, there's a huge reason why my walls aren't painted white. There's
Yeah.
a huge reason why I have like homey things around my office. There's a huge reason why I don't wear a white coat. I wear t-shirt and jeans, and I'm usually barefoot.
I noticed you were barefoot.
I'm wearing shoes right now, but
Yes.
it's a rarity in the office. But yeah, I want people to feel comfortable, because another misconception of chiropractic offices is, that it's very cold, and I feel like I can't open up, and I want people, again, to feel safe
Yeah.
and to feel like this is a welcoming place. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally have a family gathers here sign over there.
I'll say this, I was nervous when I walked in here, and I feel like being with you, you really did ease me. Like, hey, I felt to chill out. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool, like you're having fun. No need to be nervous. No need to be nervous. Like, you even made me feel like at ease. Like, all right, yeah, okay, we got this. Like, so definitely, guys, come see Gracie over here at Backwoods Chiropractic. I know I'm going to make appointments for the whole family. We're going to do it because we need to.
I'm
And
excited to start that journey with you.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm actually going to spend some time over here with Gracie. I'm going to come in at some time soon, and I'm just going to kind of watch and hang out and just learn about what she does. Talk to some of the people that some of her. What do you call them?
So I refer to them as practice members.
Practice members.
And if I can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, go
So
ahead. Tell me.
when it comes to labels, I hate labels.
Yeah.
But also the word patient is a sick word.
Yeah.
And I don't like to communicate that, someone's a patient, that they're sick, which to an extent we're all sick in one way or another, if you will. But practice member, that kind of, to me, when I chose that verbiage of you're a part of something. You are a part of the family. Yeah. Like you're a member of the family.
Everything I've always done, any business, I want people to feel like, that's how I always want. I want to feel like they're comfortable, things like that. I did pest control for years, and so I go into people's homes. It's a very personal job. I see things that people did not want me to see a lot of the times, and and you got to make people feel comfortable. Like I tell people, like, your wife is going to be at home by themselves with me in your home. Like, you want to go, yeah, Phil's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And that's my biggest goal. I want everybody to feel comfortable. I want them to feel relaxed, that kind of thing. And I think you did that as soon as I walked in the door. And so,
that's what I hope that everyone can have. Another thing that if you don't mind bringing up, so I, again, work with a lot of pregnant mamas and babies.
Yeah.
I also attend births. So I am a trained doula. I'm not a registered doula, but I'm a trained doula. Doulas are coaches, if you will, birth coach. So they don't do anything like catching the baby or any of the like medical cleanup, if you will. They're more up towards the head of the table, or excuse me, wherever the mama is laboring. And they are just being a coach for them. They're also including the spouse, whether it's dad, partner, whatever that person is, or who that person is. Try and include them in the process. So that being said, I do attend both births at hospitals and home births.
So
vulnerability,
you literally are full family. Like, it's we keep on saying full family. We keep hearing it's literally full family. You will be there from the first second they're up.
Yeah, and when it comes to like
out.
Practice members at the office, I serve everyone from day-old newborns to elderly. To there's actually a testimonial over here from one of our practice members who's an international powerlifter for the continent of North America, and he lives here in Claymore.
What?
But he is 6'11". He's lovingly over 400 pounds, so he's a very healthy guy, if you will.
Good boy.
And I think one thing that really kind of pushed me to want to serve everyone is I'm not the biggest person. You know, I'm 5'6" on a good day when I'm wearing shoes.
When you're wearing shoes.
Maybe 140 pounds soaking wet. Yeah. And I was judged a lot for that. Also being a female, especially a blonde female, I got a lot of shit for that too. So I don't know if I can cuss on here, sorry. I got a lot of smack for that. And so again, that was another aspect of wanting to prove myself of, okay, well, let's learn how to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I know we keep on talking. We're just having fun. I don't care.
I can talk as long as you want to.
We keep on. We'll wrap up the show when we want to wrap up the show. I'm having fun. So,
well, anyways, this is your show, so whatever.
No, I'll wrap it up when I want to wrap it up. I'm having fun.
I'm here for it.
No, you talk about like you say, you're smaller and people. You got to prove yourself. I was skin and bones. Like I was a beanpole growing up. Nobody ever took me serious. I got a growth spurt and then I didn't get any weight. I just stretched out. Yeah. And people didn't take me serious either. And a lot of things I learned how to do was to be like, well, watch me. I'm going to do this. Like swimming. I learned how to swim because the kids made fun of me for wearing floaties. And I said, you know what? I don't need these floaties. And I just did it.
Yeah, figured it out.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to do it. And that's how I was like, you tell me that I can't do it, I'm going to do it. I might not be perfect at it, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be like, I did it. Like look what I did. So I love that fire. Like it's just one of those. I think if more people had that kind of energy and fire, I kind of lost that, and I'm kind of getting it back, and I like it. And I feel talking to people and hearing their fire and hearing their motivations and hearing what they do, kind of lights those things back up inside of me.
Let's go.
It's kind of like I feel like I had basically my brain needed a restart. You know what I mean? Like like we were talking earlier, my brain was like, can't do this anymore. And I feel like I got so negative. I got so the news is scary. Everything is, the world's falling apart, and that's all I could focus on. I just got so negative with everything. I didn't like people. I've always have liked people. I always liked talking to people. Yeah. And I was like, I gotta get out of this funk. Like so my brain was like, well, reset. This year was 2023 was rough, but it was a reset base. I feel like it was to get me going and to kind of notice those things and appreciate things again that I did that I forgot about. I mean, I feel like lately I've just appreciated my wife so much more, and it's weird. Like when you focus on it and you look at those things and you try to appreciate her and see those things that the little things that she does, and I'm a procrastinator. She helps me so much, like, okay, here we go, doing the podcast, like letting me leave. She is a true partner. She's my anchor. Like I'm a heads in the cloud guy. Like I'm a dreamer, and she's like, hey, let's not go don't go, wait, think about this. And so like I've started to feel that starting to learn that appreciation for people and the things and just get that again. And I want to, like, I thank you for doing this with me because
thank you for
really
the opportunity.
Just this really does it is a therapy for me. This is something that's getting me through some stuff too.
Hell
so it's a big deal. And I know you're like, everybody's like, oh, no, thank you. No, like, thank you, because this is nothing for me. Like, I don't want it. This is for the community. I want everybody to enjoy it. I want it to have fun. We want the community to embrace our local businesses. We want them to, because we want to show them that these are the people that are running our community. These are the people that are keeping our community alive.
And we're all real people.
Real people. You're their neighbors. Kids go to school with their kids. Things like that. We are just everyday people.
Yeah.
And we need your support. It is easy to go on Amazon or go to order your things from Walmart online.
Sure.
You never have to leave the house. It's easier to do that, but sometimes getting out there and exploring those things. I went out and explored downtown Saturday a little bit. It was rainy, but it was perfect.
Yeah.
And
There's some great
I saw
shops
some good,
downtown.
cool stuff. I pretty much just left with candy.
It's not a bad thing.
It was good. I mean, yeah, I got some I Spy, some.
Hey.
Yes, I got some
I
candy.
love that stuff.
We got some like gummy sharks. The kids just devoured those things. They thought that was the best thing.
Have you tried the Skittles yet?
Yes, I got
The
it.
freeze-dried Skittles.
Yes.
Oh.
Amazing.
She's amazing and a half, by the way.
Oh, she's going to be on an episode coming up. We got Carrie coming up.
Oops, sorry if
And
we-
No. We got her coming up, so it's going to be a fun one.
Let's go. I'm excited.
If you don't know Carrie, like just talking to her through messaging, she is a ball of fire.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy, awesome. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be one of the, I can already tell.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be one of those. So it'll be a lot of fun. But and I got some caramels over at the Freckled Finch, and oh my gosh, she was like, "Here, you want to try a caramel?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm buying it." I don't. She's like, "It's this. I don't even care how much it
Sold.
is. Here, just take it."
Sold.
They were amazing. So yeah, just a lot of good stuff around here. We need to get out there and go out there, take the time, go out there, walk around, see the places downtown. Even not just downtown. We got a lot of cool little stores. We've got FTW over here. If you got like video games, things like that. There's always something, And so, getting out there and seeing that is what I want to accomplish for this. I want people to get out there and know we've got some great people here.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones that support the little league teams. You guys are the ones that are going to their soccer games. That's important.
Yeah.
That is important to put back into
Showing
our
up.
community. Yeah. And we appreciate that. I do. I think it's awesome. I love it so much. I think you're great, and we've got a new friend. So
Yeah, of course.
if anything, we've got new friends.
Friendship
I make friends,
established.
right? Yes, we are friends now. So it'll be a long friendship. I can't wait to come in here and start getting straightened up. Get the kids in here. Like I can't wait to tell that story. I can't wait to come in here and watch you and learn, talk to some of your partners. What do you call them? I apologize.
My husband?
No, your.
You're good. You're good. I'm trying. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, you're good. My brain went blank again. No, you're not patients, but
Practice members.
Practice members, yes.
Practice
there you go.
members.
Your practice members.
Yeah.
I'm going to become one of your practice members. So
For
we'll
sure.
get that. And guys, if you want to come see her, come see Gracie. She'll get you taken care of. Not just lining up, but
Yeah,
full thing.
whatever you need,
All of
however
it.
I can help.
awesome. Well, Gracie, I appreciate you so much.
Well-
And I know we've kind of gotten around to this 15 times, but I don't care.
You're good,
This
my
is what
friend.
the show's going to be. That's whatever it is. I
Cool.
don't care. You know what I mean? I had a good time.
Here we are.
And people get to know you, get to know it. I'm ADHD, so I bounce everywhere. My questions don't line up, but that's all right. So, awesome. I appreciate you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you want to put out there to Claremore before we head out of here? Or
Well, one, I definitely want to address and, show gratitude and thank you for the opportunity to not only speak, but to, in a sense, give back to our community. Second off, if there's anything that I want the Claremore community to know is that I'm always here. So I might not actually be like here in the office, but I'm always reachable on Facebook. You had mentioned mental health. Again, I'm trying to wrap this up, I promise.
No, you're good.
Mental health aspects. I've struggled with my own mental health journey. And out of respect for myself, I'd rather not share that story.
Oh, yeah.
But I've definitely been at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I've had to work my way back up, and I'm here to help lift others who might need that help.
Love it. That is a huge deal. I mean, it really is. It's when somebody's been through something like mental health things and people don't understand, that is a big deal to have that, where we know that comfort where you can come and you've been through it.
Yes.
You're like, hey, I got
Yep.
it. I understand. So that is a big deal. It really is. Anything you guys need,
Yeah, I'm
Gracie's
here.
here.
I'm here.
You heard it. She said it. She's here. So, guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank
and
you.
Gracie, thank you so much.
Of course.
I can't wait. Follow for more because we're going to have some footage coming up where we're in here falling around. So follow along, guys.
Yeah,
all right?
come on.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for listening again to I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like.